Okay, let's focus on how we're going to analyze the pre-seen information in the SBL examination. First thing is what you don't need to do. So if you're doing a university degree or a master's, you spend hours and hours doing industry research, finding industry analysis and comparative data. You don't have to do this in the SBL examination. A broad, simple level analysis is all that's needed. You don't need to do hours and hours of research. Try to avoid spending too much time trying to speculate on what will and will not come up. Sometimes it's very difficult to do so because they ask things which are really not signposted in the pre-seen material. Sometimes they are, but generally they are unusual things which you did not expect. Now, on the day of the exam, you're not going to be using the pre-seen that much. It's mainly going to come from the post-seen material. So do not base your entire answer you write in the exam on the pre-seen material. You need to use the new material in the exam. And don't spend hours and hours and hours on the pre-seen. Keep your analysis quite short, but also spend more time revising the syllabus, getting your technical knowledge. The examiners complain that people are weak at technical knowledge. So get your technical knowledge, your application skills strong. That's going to give you more benefit than spending hours and hours and hours on the pre-seen material. Remember that most of the information in the exam, most of your examples, most of your application points, professional marks are going to come from the post-seen material, not the pre-seen material. So take that into account. Don't over-rely on the pre-seen. 95% of your examples, application points are going to come from the actual day exhibits. How should you prepare? Make sure you've got a broad knowledge of the industry and the environment. Try to practice a mock exam based on the pre-seen if you can find one. And read the pre-seen a few times so you're very familiar with what's in there. Ideally, you should never refer to the pre-seen on the day of the exam. It is available to you, but you should not really be referring to it. It should be already in your mind, the key features of the industry. Don't forget, as I said it again, most of the points are going to come from the post-seen. So what's the approach? I would start with SWOT. SWOT, if you remember, is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats analysis, SWOT. So the OT part is external. So in particular, when you're doing your OT, opportunities and threats, look out for your PESTEL analysis, political, economic, social, technology, environmental, legal. Look out for your competition. Who are the competitors? Are we dominant in the market? Are we facing strong competition? What are the threats from competitors? Can we grow by acquisition? Can we buy them? So look for opportunities as well in that market. So start off with your external environment factors. Look at anything that indicates a PESTEL issue or a competitive issue to get your opportunities and threats in the exam. Look at what's happening internally. Internally is going to be your strengths and weaknesses. Look at the board of directors. Is it balanced? Do they have a good balance of skills, expertise? Do they have good governance on the board of directors? Do they have effective corporate governance? Are there any obvious operational weaknesses in the company? How is their technology? Are they using IT? Do they have a good website? Do they have a good social media campaign? Are they using AI? Are they using big data? Is there anything they're doing well, but also anything lacking or appears to be lacking in the business? So look at internal factors, your physical, your human, your branding, but also maybe financial, if there's any financial data there. Try to calculate some ratios and see what that data is telling you. Try to look at the risks. Risk is a big part of the exam, as is risk management on the SBL. So look at what are the risks, what are the threats, and how can those risks be managed in the future? How can we manage those risks in the future? So look at the industry and what are the major risks in this industry. So budget airline was what came up in September 2023. You're looking at things like technology failure could be a big risk in that industry. Fuel price increases could be a big risk in that industry. So always try to look at the major risks and how we can manage them, fuel price hedging, for example. So try to look at the risks in this industry and how they could be managed, because risk is a frequently asked question in the exam. Technology is also a big part of the SBL syllabus. So look at the technology. Are we using it? What are the technology trends? Do we look to be strong or weak in terms of our technology we're using in the organization? So that is really the level of analysis you've got to go through for the pre-seen material.